Welcome back to the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. We're catching up with All Elite Wrestling, AEW Dynamite, the Blood and Guts, the annual special event on AEW Dynamite. This year been built up with the feud between the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club. You throw it in Kota Ibushi, we're throwing in Takeshita and Don Callis, and the Bastard Pac. And this all made for a very bloody, crazy, shocking, explosive edition of AEW Dynamite. It wasn't the only thing on the show as Jack Perry debuted his new self. He basically buried, rest in peace, Jungle Boy. That's gone. No more, none of that stuff no more. We are now just Jack Perry riding around limousines, acting like a complete douche. It's kind of funny because it seems like he should be partnered up with Christian Cage. I was wondering if they were even going that direction near the end of this match, if that would have been the reveal, but it wasn't. He was challenging the FTW champion, Taz's son, Hook. And Hook came out. Looked like he was going to beat the crap out of Jack Perry, but I think a lot of us suspected with the heel turn that Jack Perry was going to win this match and deliver Hook's first official loss. He is no longer undefeated in All Elite Wrestling and taking the FTW championship. Taz was not happy about this. Jack Perry cheated to do it. Low blows and belt shots and all kinds of chicanery. And he had the nerve to smirk when he was pinning Hook in the ring. And that was the end of that. I don't know if this derails Hook's momentum or not. Hook was very hot a long time ago. He was not as hot now as he was probably 6 months to a year ago. But Jack Perry, I think he's fit into this new role well so far, and we'll see where it goes with it. MJF and Adam Cole had another one of their skits eating. MJF had to be among the poors, and he had to eat Chinese food, spicy Chinese food, which he doesn't like. So Adam Cole trying to get MJF to expand his boundaries. They had a fun. It was another fun skit for the two of them. The skits that they've had over the last couple of weeks have been really, really fun. They didn't get into their match. The finals of this Eliminator tournament, where they just randomly choose partners, whatever, it's against Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. You also have Chris Jericho involved in this, because earlier we saw Jericho still talking to Don Callis. Jericho comes out in commentary talking about his, I guess, still maybe former charges. Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia of the Jericho Appreciation Society. He was trying to be there to root him on, I guess, but he didn't want to have to be there for them. That will play out after the match, but MJF comes out first because Jericho cut his music off and the fans were upset. So MJF comes out and then he points to Adam Cole and they play what sounds like Max's music again. But it's not Max's music. It is a new mashup of Adam Cole and MJF's music, which I thought was fantastic. I think this whole rivalry, it's kind of a rivalry, but this whole buddy cop partner bromance between MJF and Adam Cole is I did not know I wanted this in my life, but it has been absolutely entertaining as hell. And then we get into the match, which we then go full sports entertainment, and Daniel Garcia with that goofy ass hip thing that he does, and MJF were doing that. Then they decided they were having a dance-off. MJF goes outside the ring, presses some button on the soundboard, and then disco music starts playing. I was half expecting Disco Inferno if he wasn't so hated by everybody in AEW for things that have come out of his mouth, justifiably so, to come down to the ring. Wouldn't that have been funny if Disco came to the ring and they all beat up Disco? But they played disco music, so Garcia and Guevara and MJF are all doing this dance-off thing, and then Adam Cole's like, yeah, me too. Adam Cole gets in there. I feel bad for Britt Baker with the thrust movements. Never mind, we're not going there.
Coke. Smells like Coke.
That was all ended. There was an actual match that happened after all of this. Actually, a pretty damn good match. MJF and Adam Cole still trying to get that double clothesline over, and after a lot of different stuff, a lot of entertainment in this match, they finally hit the double clothesline, get the win. MJF and Adam Cole baby win the Eliminator Tag Team Tournament. They will now go on to face over on AEW Collision. They will now go over there to take on FTR. FTR will make their presence known, but not before there was a little confusion with Adam Cole, who was looking lovingly at the AEW World Championship. MJF noticed this, and yeah, they hugged it out, but you could tell MJF already is plotting to go up against Adam Cole. So the bromance looks like it's on its way to being over. It's short and sweet, but we know where it's going. We knew where it was going anyway. There's no way Max is not going to be the devil. He is the devil incarnate. After this little kerfluffle, FTR comes out. They get face to face, and there's a square off there. Dax is upset because Tony Khan had them play MJF's music to close out the segment and not the champs, because they're the champs. So Tony, you need to play the champs music. Although MJF is like the world champion, but whatever. After that, there was an interview with the Best Friends and Darby Allin. We're setting up some other matches, but the main thing came up, Blood and Guts, the Blood and Guts match. It was fantastic. I can't go through the whole thing. It was a very long match. We have had broken shards of glass. We've got beds of nails. Omega taking nasty bumps. Moxley bleeding all over the place. The Young Bucks coming in with thumbtacks on their bottom of their tennis shoe. At one point in time, one of the Bucks is up on top of the cage with poor Wheeler Yuta, almost going to throw him off the side of the cage. Yuta saved himself. Nick goes up there, or Matt goes, I think it was Matt, and then he dumps all these thumbtacks down into the ring when Pac and Claudio were going to do pile drivers, and they got reversed. They wound up in the thumbtacks. We had Kota Ibushi making his debut. Kota Ibushi at one point in time had to save everybody because everybody was in a submission on their side. And things were just kept going crazier and crazier and crazier. But as this match progressed on, you can see that the Blackpool Combat Club, Takeshita and Pac, had the advantage in this match. They're just rougher dudes. It was apparent that the Golden Elite was starting to lose this match. And then Pac and Claudio, who've been chippy with each other the entire night, even though Pac did this crazy move hanging from the cage and then ejected himself into a double stomp through, I believe it was Nick Jackson, and the table between the two rings. I mean, that spot was great. But despite Pac being that awesome and that much of a boss, him and Claudio kept getting chippy with each other, and then they got into it again, and then Moxley's trying to break it up. Takeshi's trying to go. Pac don't want anything to do with anybody, and Pac quits, which technically, that's the end of the match. The match should have ended there because it is submission or surrender, and Pac quit. He surrendered. The match was over. That should have technically ended the match, but I get it. They want to go for the dramatic ending. But Pac winds up taking some bolt cutters, cutting the bolts, and leaving the ring. So then they fight on for a little bit more. Then Don Callis realizes that the Elite are going to win, so he comes and pulls Takeshita out of there. So now it's the Golden Elite against just the Blackpool Combat Club. Thank God Danielson is at home convalescing from having surgery on his arm, or he probably would have been out there cursing the storm up, because the Blackpool Combat Club basically got deserted. And when it came down to it, they picked on the weakest link, which is unfortunately for him was Wheeler Yuta, whose entrance was also obscured by a TV commercial break. Poor Wheeler. But he got beat up and choked and hit in the face and bleeding all over the place until he eventually surrendered. And that was the end of the match. Jon Moxley, who couldn't do anything because the Bucks had handcuffed him to one of the ring ropes, so he couldn't help Wheeler Yuta. And Claudio has been pretty banged up in this match. So the Golden Elite win this match. Jon Moxley looked furious. Jon Moxley looks like he's going hunting. Claudio's going to be hunting for Pac. And I think Mox is probably going to be coming after Takeshita and Don Callis. I think that's a good little transition there out of this, because this is the end of the BCC Elite feud. So now we're moving into other things. And I don't know where the Elite are going in the future with this. I think we're going to probably learn a little bit more about Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi, not in the best of shape that he's ever been, but again, he's older now. But the last time I saw Ibushi, he was shredded. And this is not that same Kota Ibushi. He's not been wrestling for a while, so it's to be expected. But he's still Kota Ibushi. He's still a phenom, so I'm absolutely happy to see that here. I cannot wait to see Murder Ibushi. And those of you who follow Kota Ibushi's career know what I mean when I say Murder Ibushi. We didn't get to see Murder Ibushi in this match. I thought we were. But Murder Ibushi versus Moxley would be awesome. But that's for the future. I want to know what you guys thought about this show. Did you like this edition of AEW Dynamite? Did you like the Blood and Guts match? Did you like the story they told and how they ended the match? and how they kind of save face for everybody with that ending, let your voice be heard in the comment box below. And until next time, I will see you guys here for more news, rumors, reviews, and all kinds of stuff here on the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.